All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We'll be diving into our newspaper review. Right in front of Daily Trust, we see Katsina Mosque Attack. Search continues as over 50 bodies recovered. Renewed hostilities disturbing CDS. That's on page 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust. Right on top, on the left, we have 2027 microzoning battle splits southern PDP leaders. We have despite meeting OPEC quota price drop threatens Nigeria's capital projects. That is on page 21 of Daily Trust newspaper. We have government deports 102 Chinese nationals, others over cyber crime. That's on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. At the bottom, we have amid criticism, RMAFC begins public officers pay review. That is on page 5 of the Daily Trust. Nigeria's forex reserves rise to $41 billion. Go to page 24 if you want more on this. FCT community residents vacate homes over erosion. That's on page 20 of the Daily Trust. Man allegedly flogs son to death. That's on page 21. Get yourself a copy and stay informed.
And now to the Guardian newspaper. Alifin versus Oni, old warpath for new entrants. The story is on page 6. And the big story in pages 4 and 5 is how quest for sexual validation boosts manpower business, organ damage. Despite mounting debts, NNPCL declares 185 billion profit, pays FAA CFAC 7.9 trillion naira. The story is on page 3 of The Guardian. RMAFC defies uproar, reviews remuneration packages for officers holders. The story is on page 3 of The Guardian. Rift deepen in PDP over Lagos gathering ahead of Ibadan convention. The story is on page 6 of The Guardian. Catholic bishops threaten to dismiss politically inclined clerics. You can find this story in news page 30. Nigerians FX reserves hit $41 billion highest in 44 months, says CBN. This story is on page 20. Ebonyi landslide killed 2 as state government seals mining site. You can find this story in page 29 of The Guardian, and this is the much you can take in The Guardian front page newspaper.
All right, next up, we have a Vanguard newspaper. Right in front, we have climate change, how floods worsen Nigerians' healthcare woes. At the top, we have insecurity aggravating pains in the north, says ACF. ASU threatens strike, rejects federal government loan scheme. That's on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. Olu of Warri flags off Iwere Trust Fund with 750 million naira. That is all we can take on the Guardian newspaper.
So joining us to review some of the headlines on the pages of today's newspaper is Nuruddin Abdullahi. He's the editor of 21st Century Chronicle. Welcome to Newspaper Review, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so straight up, in the Daily Trust, body written a search continues as over 50 bodies recovered. Renewed hostilities disturbing CDS. What can you say about this headline?
I think that's very unfortunate, we haven't had this large number of fatalities in the recent time, and particularly the nature of it's more or less like a massacre. But more importantly is the questions now. The CDS is complaining. That is the most annoying part of it. As a bloody citizen, bloody civilian, we are complaining. I'm complaining, you are complaining, everybody's complaining. And the people who should nip this in the bud are equally complaining. So, we have now a season of lamentations. People who should stop this are lamenting. The victims are lamenting. I think this takes us to where we are trying to avoid. Our security chiefs need to be given schedules and timelines to end this or the exits. I think let's tinubu try that. When you are coming on board as an army chief, as intelligence chief, the moment we had we have 1, 2, 3 intelligence failures. It seems that the chief there is not doing his work. Let's excuse him. Let's have another one. I think it's high time to start having that. These are worshippers praying the CBG, the dawn prayers, and they were just massacred. Only God knows how many people are killed. From 13, 23, 27, now to 50. Now to 50. And so many families have not yet got their loved ones missing or abducted or whatever. And again, this is happening at the same time. Some government agencies are trying to negotiate a soft landing for one of the murderous gang leaders, Bello Turji, having massacred a countless number of people. Now you are trying to give him a soft landing for what? Okay, when you give Bello Turji soft landing now, what would the other Kachalas? There are hundreds of them. I think instead of wasting our time, wasting our scarce resources, sponsoring some people to go to the bush, the military should do the needful. There are people that should be, what do you call it, neutralized or eliminated to save the society.
Well, according to the CDS, you said Nigerians should be thankful because they are doing a lot so far when it comes to, insecurity. But then at the end of the day, when we look at this, it says another story.
Okay. We are not saying that they are not doing anything, but they are not doing enough. When in one single tragedy, more than 50 Nigerians are butchered to death. In some serious countries, some people have resigned by now. But they're still put. It seems that the political leadership need to, look inward and rearrange their strategy. Give these people's timelines and schedules. If as an intelligence chief and we have 1, 2, 3 intelligence fellows, you go. We try another one.
Do you believe Nigeria, or should I say Nigeria, lacks urgency when it comes to these kind of issues?
Of course, and because the victims are the people at the lowest cadre of the society. Look at it. If a VIP or so, a murder, we don't have that cases now because most of the family members of these people in Abuja, they brought them back to Abuja.
Okay, now the CDS says Nigerians should learn combat and survival skills to be able to protect themselves. Would you say he's losing hope, or maybe he sees the military is not doing enough to protect citizens?
That's what the CDS. And it's unfortunate to give the defense chief. So in the Hajia, now you should just go and learn combat skills, maybe, and acquire weapons, right?
And in the fact that these attacks are called a reprisal attack due to the fact that they attacked the insurgents and they attacked back. So what help would it be if at the end of the day they have more manpower, they have more firepower and everything, and how are they supposed to do that when it comes to
the issue of this reprisal, like they said, if this is the community, for instance, just adapt to what the CDS said, they get some combat skills, some den guns and what have you, and repel attacks, because the bandits always attack the communities. So a daring community will repel the attack, right?
Yeah.
Then after that, they will just go and mobilize and massacre every soul they come across without being protected. These people are supposed to be protected. They are Nigerians. The number one responsibility of government is protection of lives and property, which now the government cannot do. And even the defense chief, whose sole responsibility is to ensure that these people are not killed like chickens. He's not saying that you should go and learn combat skills. And he's still in his office with long manner of convoys or whatever. Can you feel the irony? President Tinubu should not repeat the mistake Buhari did. Buhari left service chiefs for almost 4, 5, 6 years. They became like traditional rulers. Their abnormality became the norm. Their failure, we look at their failure as the norm. We shouldn't repeat that. Give these people timelines. Let them have schedule. It's just like a typical DPO. When you post a DPO, let's say to Tapa, there is an incident, one. Second thought, you remove him. Try another one. If you know you are taking Hajar to that particular bit, and you know that this is what she will do all she could to ensure these things are nip in the bud. But when you know that there is no consequence, you do come 1, come 2, come 3, right? Only God knows how many quams we will get. Because of lack of consequence.
All right, let us digress to another topic. The 2027 microzoning battle splits southern PDP leaders. What is your take on that?
The PDP thing is still funny, Okay, now they have agreed on zoning, right? Now it's the microzoning. Which state? No, which zone? Is it southeast, south? By the time, let's say, you put it to, let's say, southeast, then the battle now will become more micro or mini zoning now. Which state? Is it Ibonyi, Abia, Enugu, Imo, or Anambra that will produce? It's unfortunate that PDP, as the leading opposition party, has been marred by all these problems. A particular virus, a very lethal virus, has been inserted into the ecosystem of the party. Only God knows what will happen. You understand? So it's unfortunate that the opposition people, there are locally, just look at it now, there are certain things that you don't like, but because you don't want other people to laugh at you, or to tag you, stereotype becomes a reality. Oh, this guy is troublesome. Even if you do something you want to make me angry, I will break the oath and refuse to be angry. But the PDP doesn't learn from that. Everybody is saying that they have failed, and they want to convince Nigerians, yes, we have indeed failed. They should please do the needful, unless they're working for the ruling party.
Thank you very much.
All right. Even though it was quite, we couldn't review the whole paper, but then thank you very much for helping us review today's papers. And that was Nuruddin Abdullah, editor, 21st Century Chronicles. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
being
having
here.
me.
Thank you very much for reviewing our paper today.
Okay, I'm welcome.
All right, and with that, we've come to the end of Daybreak on Trust TV. It was quite an interesting and engaging show. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so you don't miss out on Daybreak Extra with Mariam and Fatima. As always, I am Hawa Ademikiawa. Thank you for all that called in, and make sure you continue watching us on Daybreak.
That's right, Hawa. Myself and Fatima will be here 8 a.m. on Daybreak Extra. Keep a date with us. I am Mariam Idris. Have a nice day ahead.